What's going on, everyone? It's Abdallah here, bringing you guys some good news about Coppa and how it affects YouTube gaming and YouTube in general. There has been literally an update from yesterday at the time of recording that has a lot of silver lining, and it's a win in the books for YouTube content creators like myself. I've been doing YouTube for over 7 years, and it affects me. It has hit me hard. I've made a couple videos on it previously where I was honestly afraid of my career on YouTube here, but we got some really good information. So stick around to the end of the video. We're going to tell you this information on how it affects gaming creators. We're going to tell you guys how it affects animators and pretty much everyone else on YouTube. So it's going to be a good one. Before we get started, I have to address something that's been bothering me. I received a phone call last night in the middle of the night from an unknown number. Okay? I picked it up and there was a man's voice on the other side of the line. And the man's voice, he said that he was from YouTube higher up. And I will never forget what that voice told me. He said, and I quote, "Stop supporting YouTube lawyers who are capitalizing on desperate content creators by using fear-mongering tactics and plugging a phone number that you can text in order to get a free consultation." And I said, wow, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. That's pretty disgusting. Why would someone do that? And then I hung up. Weird. It's the age that we live in right now. So anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the YouTube content creator site. We're going to read what exactly they wrote verbatim, and we're going to talk about it. It's going to be a really good one. Now, before I start this video, I do want to give a quick disclaimer. I'm not an internet lawyer. I'm not going to put my, my toll-free phone number on the bottom of the screen. I'm not going to tell you guys to come over to my lawyer site where you guys can get a free consultation. Then I'm going to charge you afterwards. No, I'm not going to do that. And at the same time, with that being said, if you guys have questions about your content on YouTube and how it's going to be affected by Coppa, I cannot help you. I do not wish that you guys would ask anything about that in the comment section, because if anyone else tries to help you, then they're going to be held liable in the event that FTC does go after your videos. Okay? I just want to wash my hands of that right now. I'm not going to tell you, hey, you know what? You should make your videos for kids, marked for kids or not for kids. I'm not going to do that. So I'm sorry. You guys know your content more than I do, so just keep it at that and figure it out on your own. All right, anyway, let's get real. Here we go. That goes up. This goes here. This is as real as it gets, my guys. So as you guys can see over here, YouTube creators. This is the official site for YouTube, and they're like news flashes or everything like that. You guys can see over here, this is from 1 day ago. This is relatively fresh. I read this the day that they put it out. I was very happy. As a content creator who's been doing this for years, I'm very elated at this information, and I'll show you guys why. So let's read this. Here we go. We've seen a lot of questions around what exactly is made for kids content, and if your content is directed toward children. You know what? If you guys take a look at the comment section of my previous 2 videos, you'll see dozens of people being confused. They're honestly curious, and they're asking me, well, what should I do, Abdallah? No, I'm not going to answer that. Sorry. Today, the FTC released more information to help the YouTube creators decide if their content is made for kids or not. And you guys can click on this right over here. We got it in another tab, so we're going to talk about it, and we're going to go through line by line of how it's going to help us. And this is going to be really good. This is good information. Okay, what if children watched your video, but it's not meant to target kids? Oh my gosh, that hits close to home. If you take a look at my content, it's family-friendly Nintendo content. I cover the brand new latest Nintendo games, and I do it with a family-friendly content narration. So, like, children are obviously going to watch it because it's Nintendo games, but it's not meant to target kids. According to the FTC, your content isn't considered directed to children just because some children may see it. All right, slow clap, slow clap. Now, that's good. That's absolutely good information. Now, you're going to see a lot of content creators out there fear-mongering, saying, oh, dude, the FTC is so outdated. We took a look at their FTC policies. They're talking about, like, writing letters to YouTube with their parental discretion, using a facsimile in order to send it on over. I mean, yes, okay. It's an old law, sure. Go ahead and make fun of Coppa as much as you want. Just go ahead and make fun of how out of touch you think that FTC is, but they're not. And they're getting everything figured out, okay? Is animated content considered made for kids? Animated content was a huge thing. A lot of these videos that are floating online right now are just not updated. A lot of them say, hey, cool animators on YouTube. You know what? There's a really big animation boom, And a lot of those content creators are now going to disappear from YouTube because of Coppa. That's not the case. Guys, get informed. There was a new update. You can hold your breath a little bit longer. Anyway, according to the FTC, just because your video has bright colors or animated characters doesn't mean you're automatically covered by Coppa or made for kids. So covered by Coppa, it's a really loose term, covered by Coppa. Covered means like, oh man, like, dude, they're covering me. No. Or made for kids. While many animated shows are directed to kids, the FTC recognizes, look, the FTC recognizes that there could be animated programming that appeals to everyone. That's a money sentence right there, okay? Look, that immediately says, look, calm down on your fear-mongering. Everything's going to be fine. Okay, here's some tips. And these are the tips over here. It might help to consider how others view your content and content similar to yours, all right? Has your channel been reviewed on sites that evaluate kids' content? Is your channel, or channels like yours, mentioned in blogs for parents of young children or in media articles about child-directed content? Have you surveyed your users, or is there other empirical evidence about the age of your audience? Okay? Now, surveying your viewers, this sentence right here can be misconstrued, where you can see certain content creators throw out a poll on YouTube in a community tab where they can say, hey, you know what? How old are you watching my content? You put a box that says under 13, 13 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 50, etc., etc. And then that poll comes back saying you got a small amount of people that are under 13 that watch your content. Okay? That's not necessarily what you want to do because worst case scenario, if you keep that as public domain and people can see that, the FTC can use that against you. So don't make a poll. If you're at a point where you have to make a poll to see what kind of age your audience is, I think that you're being naive, honestly. I mean, you have to know your audiences, right? You making YouTube videos. Like, don't be naive to think that if you're making childhood like sing-along songs that you're not going to get kids that watch your content. All right, I roll into oblivion on that one, but nonetheless, here is this link again. Not only did they give it to you once, but they gave it to you twice. Now, you guys can go make some popcorn over here, eat some popcorn, sip some tea, while you guys sort through all of these comments here. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them, but there are nuggets. There are nuggets of really good comments in this comment section that are good, other than the blatant, please stop Coppa, save YouTube content creators. Like, there's a lot of... There's a lot of people out there that are just, they're just misinformed. Okay, before we jump into this, right? Before we jump into this, I need to get this off my chest. Look, YouTube is a business, right? YouTube ate that $170 million fine because they neglected to follow the rules. They even spouted off saying, hey, we're the #1 site for kids under 12. Like, they spouted that off. Yes, they made a mistake. They did not follow the law. And they paid for it. But right now, if you think about it, YouTube is a business and they're going to continue to be a business. If you eliminate content creators, that is inherently going to shoot yourself in the foot, if not the thigh, if not in your femoral artery, and you're going to bleed out and lose everything. So it's in YouTube's best interest to look out for the content creators, okay? You may think that YouTube is throwing content creators under the bus because they're not shielding them from the law, because now FTC is going to go after the content creators right now. That's not YouTube's fault. That's the government, dudes. That's the government. And YouTube is looking out for the content creators' best interests, okay? You may think it's an unpopular opinion, but take a look and quit being naive to it. YouTube, on my previous video, I showed you guys that YouTube has made a YouTube beta, YouTube Creator Studio update. They spent the hard dev dollars in order to come up with this algorithm that will scan your entire channel and flag videos that are made for kids. People have been giving this algorithm, this computer learning system, a lot of flack, saying, "Oh man, it's the algorithm. Oh man, the algorithm's flagging stuff that it shouldn't be." Here's the case of the matter: YouTube does not have to make this at all. They don't have to make these tools to tell you what your videos are. No, man. That's you. Take your own responsibility. That's your videos. You should know what videos you do and if they pander to kids or not, or if they target to kids. YouTube does not have to do that at all, but they're taking a step in the right direction to help protect content creators by making that tool. Is the tool perfect? No. You know your content more than others. Go sift through your videos and see what can be construed as made for kids and flag it. All right? Quit being lazy. Just do it. Anyway, if YouTube loses all these content creators like myself, like whoever, I'm not going to go naming any names, but there are a lot of content creators, especially in the gaming realm, which is where I'm from, that make a lot of money for YouTube. Keep in mind, YouTube still makes 45% of every single content creator out there. So if you remove a big chunk of that money, you bet YouTube is going to suffer. And YouTube has it in their best interest to not suffer. So they're taking care of content creators, whether or not you want to believe it or not. Okay? End rant. Let's move on. Okay, here we go. So this is straight from the Federal Trade Commission. This is the link that YouTube posted twice in their community post, all right? This is giving more information about the FTC and what exactly is going on. A little bit of history for you, so get that. Here's even more of a history, the Coppa recap. I don't need to read this out to you. You guys have your own two eyes that can read that. This is important. How Coppa applies to channel owners. So previously, in my previous video, I was under the impression that if I'm on YouTube and I'm flagging my videos accordingly, maybe this one could be for kids, maybe this one cannot be for kids, whatever. I was under the impression that I would be safe, and I was wrong, because that's not the case. How does it apply to channel owners who upload their content to YouTube and or other third-party platforms? So look, like a lot of you guys are like, oh man, we need to leave YouTube. We need to go over to XYZ site over here and upload our videos. No, man. It's the law, man. You can't run from the law, fool. Anyway, so Coppa applies in the same way it would to the channel owner had its own website or app. Okay, this is really big. And they bolded it too, so you don't miss that. So it's the law, and if you're making a video that is geared towards kids, you need to be able to say that on your video in some way, shape, or form, because Coppa will come after you for it, because you are breaking the law, okay? If you go over to a bank and you rob it and you expect to just like get away with the money, all right. I mean, maybe in the movies, but anyway, if a channel owner uploads content to a platform like YouTube, the channel might meet the definition of a website or online service covered by Coppa, depending on the nature of the content and the information collected. Okay? If the content is directed to children and if the channel owner or someone on its behalf collects personal information from the viewers of that content, the channel is covered by Coppa. Okay, so that's really interesting there. Once Coppa applies, the operator must provide notice, obtain verifiable parental consent, and meet Coppa's other requirements. So it's really hard to do that, but don't worry, YouTube's got plans for all that stuff. Okay, so here we go again. Now, this is how can channel owners determine if their content is directed to children? So I would say in worst case scenario, just mark it as for kids. And don't get any ad revenue or anything else on it. Just mark it, man. Play it safe, am I right? But I'm not going to tell you anything other than that. That's it. That's all I can say. When in doubt, mark it as for kids. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. But we can offer some guidance. Okay, to be clear, your content isn't considered directed to children just because some children may see it. Remember, that was the money quote that YouTube gave us earlier. However, if your intended audience is for kids under 13, you're covered by Coppa and have to honor the rules requirements. So remember, the concept of covered by Coppa, that means it's made for kids. Coppa's coming after you. Okay, so again, this is the bullet point list that you're going to employ on all of your videos, one by one, to make sure you don't get fined. All right, other than that, like, I'm not going to go over this again. We've talked about this until it's, until we're blue in the face. There's a lot of vagueness about it. Yes, it's vague. I'll admit that. It needs a little bit more work. But at the same time, I believe that they're going to fine-tune that. The determination of whether content is child-directed will be clearer in some contexts than others. Okay. We can share some general rules of thumb. Okay, so this one's it. Remember, first, if you're affirmatively targeting kids, And there are many subject matter categories where you don't have to worry about COPPA. All right. That's fine as long as you flag your stuff. If your videos are about traditional adult activities like so and so and so and so, we already talked about that. Unless your content is geared toward kids, like kids learn about finances. Like, okay. Anyway, the same would be true for videos aimed at high school. Yeah, we already talked about this, copy pasted. On the other hand, if your content includes traditional children's pastimes and activities, it may be child directed. Now, you can go ahead and fearmonger this sentence all you want. Like, traditional children's pastimes. Oh my gosh, video games. Oh my gosh, Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite, Mario. Like, you can totally construe that in your brain as child directed. You can. But is it really? You got to ask yourself that. In court, can you defend it saying, look, I'm not pandering to kids in my video about Mario Kart Tour. This is a game for everyone. My audience is all along with me, playing along with, and that's it. Like, can you defend it in court? Should it get that far? Okay, and then this one was the whole, just because your video has bright colors and animated characters. We've already read that, so that's already there, copy-pasted. This one's an example. So this is another example in your About section. So go over to your About section and maybe revise it. If you have any words that say, hey, my About section is the best channel for kids under 13. Like, no, man. Change that stuff. The other channels, okay, made similar statements in communications with YouTube. All right, deal. So in addition, many of the channels that feature popular animated children's programs or showed kids playing with toys or participating in other child-oriented activities. All right. So this is like, yo, a toy review channel that may or may not have made millions upon millions of dollars pandering to kids by subjecting their small child into opening up toys and possibly getting their own show on an unnamed child TV station. That was complete breaking the law. But dude, they made their millions. That's cool. That's cool, man. Thanks, bro. So that's exactly what that's saying, like toy unboxing videos. Anyway, some of the channel owners also enabled settings that made their content appear when searched for the names of popular toys or animated characters. So watch out. Some people use that little SEO trick, like, oh, you want to show up in recommended, so use terms that will be like that. So try to stay away from that. All right. So yeah, there's other things. Okay, so if you've applied the factors listed in Coppa and still wondered if your content is directed to children, it might help to consider how you're... Okay, so we've already saw this. We've already saw that. I've already talked about that. What are the possible penalties? All right, look. Possible. Possible, guys. Possible. The rule allows for civil penalties up to $42,000 per violation. All right? Hold on. Let me highlight this part. Up to. Okay? Look. Again, the fear mongering, the fear pandering to an entire content creator base like myself that is desperate for answers about Coppa. You can go ahead and name any YouTuber right now. If they've talked about $42,000 per video, they're fear mongering. I said it in my video. I was vastly misinformed because it's up to, dude, per video. Like, come on, man. They're not going to charge you $42,000 per video that you had. No. Worst case scenario, they will, but I don't believe that that's the case. And if I'm wrong, cool. Tell me I'm wrong. Show me that slip. Anyway, but if the FTC considers a number of factors in determining the appropriate amount, including a company's financial condition and the impact a penalty could have on its ability to stay in business. There you go. See, look. But the FTC considers a number of factors determining the appropriate amount. If it's YouTube's got billions of dollars. They'll absolutely max fine them. If it's my channel where I don't even have billions of dollars, they're going to see the company's financial condition and the impact a penalty could have on its ability to stay in business. They're going to work with you. They're going to say, look, you got some stuff over here that you need to get fixed. Most likely, it'll be a slap on the wrist. Here's a fine. Fix your videos. Come back to me. Unless you bring a lawyer into it. But like, I think that's fine. You know what? That's cool. That's saying, look, here's the olive branch. We're going to give you the benefit of a doubt. I'm not going to bankrupt you over this, but you still have to follow the law. While Google and YouTube just paid $170 million, another Coppa case settled in this year, and the operator paid a total of $35,000. Okay, that's cool. That's great. I don't want to be fined. I don't have $35,000 laying around, but the fact that they are looking into it and they're going to take a look to see how it impacts people, that's great. That's good news for me. That's really good news for me. I've got over like 2,000 videos on my channel. If one of them slips and gets flagged by Coppa, you think I'm going to eat a $42,000 fine? I'm not. So anyway, isn't the FTC taking another look at the Coppa rule? Yeah, the FTC is currently evaluating the rule. Look, the FTC is currently evaluating the rule in light of rapid changes in technology. Look, I'm telling you, okay, yeah, send a facsimile. Yeah, you can make fun of it all you want, but Coppa's they're learning. The lawmakers, all of us that have been raising awareness on Coppa and lobbying, going to Congress, filling out, whatever. I don't really believe in the change.org petitions, but actually sending comments through the FTC, all of us that have been raising awareness on this, we've been making an instance and we've been making an example of what we want to see change. If you'd like to comment on the effectiveness of Coppa rule and whether changes are needed, the FTC has extended the comment deadline to December 9th. As of right now, it's the 24th, and so you guys can click on this, open it in a new tab, and you could head on over here. So this is going to be where you're going to be able to take a look at leaving a comment on this. Okay, so read this through. You guys can do it. You can read some comments. There's 11,000 comments over here, which is really good. And you can go from there. So anyway, you can click on comment now. Right over here, you can comment. You can comment whatever you want. But here's the thing. Don't be a fool. Don't be swearing at them about it because your foolish self is misinformed about what is actually going on. Be tactful about this, okay? Give examples. Look, you can even upload files. You can upload files about this stuff. You can say, hey FTC, I've got this content creator named Abdallah Smash that does family-friendly content. I like, putting him on for the whole family to enjoy. He's not pandering to kids. He's not doing any of that stuff. And he's a really important part of our day. We watch all of his videos all the time together as a family. And he's made a very positive influence on all of us. So we would hate it to see if Abdallah's channel were to go away due to the recent events of Coppa, which is most likely what's going to happen. I'm going to jump ship if this is what happens, because I'm not about to eat these fines. But anyway, like I said earlier, go over here. You got until December 9th to make a comment, but make it tactful. Don't ruin it for all of us by saying, I hate Coppa, Coppa sucks, and then expletives. You're a fool and you're going to ruin it for us. Just don't. This is going to the government. So make it as tactful as possible. Keep it civil. That's all I ask from you guys. So anyway, I'm going to put my comment in. You guys can actually see it a little bit later, but I'm going to take some time on it. I'm going to take some time and I'm going to write a couple good paragraphs about what Coppa means to me and what it means for the livelihood of my YouTube channel. And again, the future of a lot of content creators' channels really depends on this, but we can't go fear-mongering and we can't go worrying about this so much because we just don't have the information. What's the point of worrying so much if not all the information is in front of you? Come December 25th, when the deadline's 5 days away, yeah, you know what? You have every right to start worrying because January 1st, they're going to start hitting that stuff hard and they will start auditing channels. Yes, you have every right to worry. But like I said earlier, believe it or not, YouTube's got our backs on this one. And I'm going to put my faith into my career, which has been YouTube. I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds, dude. I have full faith that they're going to figure it out. And you know what? If they don't, then that's fine. You know what? We're all jumping ship. We're getting out of here. We're shutting down our channels and we're going to go to Twitch. That's just what it is. I'm going to be fine either way. But I just really hope that YouTube continues to keep up the communication. I hope that all of you guys watching share this video to someone who may be freaking out about Coppa, when in fact you can kind of set them at ease because there's a lot of good information that we covered on this one. So anyway, I'm looking forward to reading all of your comments. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of comments you guys are going to put on the Coppa site. All this stuff is going to be linked in the description. I want you guys to take a look at it. Share this video because a lot of people, and you take a look at the hits and how many views other Coppa videos where they're fear-mongering. You take a look at how many people watch those. Those are so many misinformed people right now. And that sucks. That sucks. So we need to get them informed about, you know what? Yeah, it feels like we're getting, the bus tires run over us for getting thrown under the bus. Yes, it feels like that. But deep down, I've got faith. And I'm going to believe that I'm going to be able to ride this wave through. And I hope you guys can figure that out along with me. Anyway, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. Take care.